Spacey Sims, and we are back with more Hakuoki Blossoms in Yamazaki's Route. I was like, frick is his name again? Wow. Oh my god. I'm a little brain dead. I had to work, man. And it's like right before Thanksgiving. By the time you see this, when is this part going up? I have no idea. I can't. My book's too far away. It's after Thanksgiving. Is it the day after? Was yesterday Thanksgiving? I don't remember. I don't know what it is for you. And hold on. Oh, it was. So, like, did I say Happy Thanksgiving to anyone who celebrates Thanksgiving? Well, there you go. I hope you had a nice one. And I hope you're enjoying your day off today if you have a day off today, or Black Friday if you're crazy enough to go shopping. What is wrong with you? Why? Anyway, it is actually the Monday before Thanksgiving for me right now. I'm a little behind. I'm recording if you can't tell. And it's so boring because there's like nothing to do. Because like the woman I work with, who's like giving me all the knowledge transfer stuff for my new project, is like out this week. So it's like, okay, I got nothing to do. And then like the build guy is going to be out the week after Thanksgiving. So it's like for 2 weeks, like there's really going to be not much to do at all. So boring. I like it though. It's so much better than my last project where I was like, I want to kill everyone. Now I'm like, can I take a nap? It's so much more fun. I like the relaxed life, but it does get boring. And it keeps you unmotivated. So like when you have something to do, you're like, yeah, I'm just gonna wait and not do that yet. Like, oh, was I supposed to do that? Yeah, okay. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm actually doing my job. It's just taking my time. I really have nothing to do though. I mean, so like, I'm not neglecting anything. Except for calling the help desk about something, because they're no help anyway. But anyway, so I feel very, I can't remember things anymore. My brain is dead. What were we doing? Right. Yeah. Chapter 2. Did we just start Chapter 2? I think we did. Anyway. As the words were uttered from Yamazaki's mouth, they spread through our ranks like wildfire. The captains attempted to maintain order despite the demoralizing revelation, but it was to no avail. Information discussed by the company's war council must have leaked all the way to Kofu Castle. To our dismay, the Imperial Army had already declared themselves king of this proverbial hill. With our original plan out the window, we were tasked with laying siege to a fully armed castle. New recruits who expressed an interest in joining only after believing victory was more than assured caught wind of this news and fled the marching ranks. By the time Kondo had been notified, over half of his men had shamelessly absconded. Meanwhile, he was occupied in his hometown performing meet and greets. Our standing army, which was measly from the outset, dwindled to an embarrassing shadow of its former self. Misfortune was becoming commonplace for us, and suddenly, our mission seemed all the more insurmountable. If you thought taking that castle was tough, it's even harder without the right men. Victory's looking slim. Oh, but you look pretty, if that helps. We're gonna need more men, so I'm heading to Ito to request backup. If they comply, we might have a shot. Hijikata declared his intent to gather reinforcements, which left us in a precarious state without his leadership. Nonetheless, Yamazaki and I saw Hijikata off after accompanying him while he packed his belongings. Do you plan on traveling to Ito alone? At the very least, you should have a bodyguard with you. We've got neither the horses nor the men to spare. Don't sweat it. I'll be back before you know it. Listen to me. Don't let a single bullet fire until I get back, you hear me? Oh yeah, because anyone's gonna listen to me. This war doesn't start unless I will it so. Damn. Feisty, I love it. Understood, sir. However, there's a chance that the enemy may preemptively attack us. Should they learn that we're short in numbers? Okay, whatever, I read that, like, stupidly, but... Hijikata's eyes thinned. Behind his squinted eyelids, I saw the glint of a frigid, purposeful anger. In the event of that occurring, you take Kondo, flee to Ito, and protect him with your life. Got it? What? The mood immediately recalled something that Hijikata had imparted upon us during Toba Fushimi. He snapped at us, telling us to stand down when our backs were against the wall, despite all of our comrades also fighting for their lives. Hijikata should have known then, and even now, how much Yamazaki was hurt by his insistence. So are you actually asking Yamazaki to abandon his allies if push comes to shove? Saving the chief is extremely important, and it's an important task, so I kind of understand where he's coming from. Like, I understand Yamazaki being like, I can't just leave our friends behind, and I feel bad about leaving our friends behind, but you're given a mission to protect the chief. You fucking protect the chief, dude. Like, that's your job. That is your, you know what I mean? I get it. No one's abandoning anyone. Kondo is the priority. That isn't up for debate. Why? Yeah, like, why? That's me. Why? So rude. It's like, what do I... Oh my god. Like, why? So he's the leader of our group. Whatever. Like, maybe because she's like, why? He should be able to fight. Like, I don't know, but still. Hopefully Yamazaki had the intuition not to take Hijikata's orders personally. It was difficult given the circumstances, but Yamazaki obeyed every command. Also, he's entrusting you. It's like he's saying you're the only one I can trust to save Kondo. But the thought of leaving his closest allies behind to keep one person safe hadn't set well with Yamazaki, who shifted his eyes nervously in response. Hijikata, however, looked totally unfazed, glancing upward at the sky indifferently. Couldn't care less if people hate me. No one's bigger than the Shinsengumi. That's what's at stake. No one is bigger. Like, it sounds like no one's bigger than the Shinsengumi. What are you, God now? Jesus. I know what he's saying. Not one individual is bigger than the Shinsengumi. But the whole Shinsengumi's at stake. But you are saying that Kondo's bigger. Your words don't exactly, like, like, I got what you're saying. But anyway. Hate me all you want, Yamazaki. You're perfectly entitled to your feelings. No, sir, as I've said to you before, the chief must survive, even at the cost of men to his left and to his right. He must lead. Commander, if you're going to lead the Shinsengumi as its demon... Demon? Hijikata's nickname, given for his penchant for being cold. He's also called the Demon Commander. Yeah. That makes him sexier, though. Like, the demon... Oh, hi. You're like, oh, you're mean and evil. That's why we like you, because you're actually a marshmallow. But then I will assist the Shinsengumi as its shadow. My fate has been decided, as I am a fury. In the future, my name will amount to less than a footnote. Oh, that's because technically you died. In order to preserve the Shinsengumi, to honor its name, I must be willing to give my life for it. Yamazaki. You're like, fuck, it's chapter 2. We gotta keep you alive for 2 more chapters. Jesus. Apologies, Yukimura. The path ahead of me is an arduous one, which bodes rather poorly for you and your desire to follow me. No, it's okay. You should do what you feel is best, Yamazaki. 2 of us nodded, exchanging our unspoken sentiments before turning back to Hijikata, and he's like, ew, romance, God. Oh, that's so sweet. Commander, I will do as you command. You have my word that the chief will be kept safe. Thanks. Sorry. As you were, Yamazaki. Yukimura. It's hard for me to switch back and forth between their voices because they're too similar to me. Like, unfortunately, all was as Hijikata had foretold. It felt like a cruel joke, one that crushed us when our hope had already fallen into short supply. In the day following Hijikata's departure, the sound of the first gunshot echoed in the battlefield. The offender, to no one's surprise, was a recent recruit of ours who pulled the trigger haphazardly. Jesus. And, just like in the Battle of Toba Fushimi, all it took was an accidental gunshot to incite a horrific bloodbath before our very eyes. Thus began the Battle of Koshu Katsuno. Why can't I not? I was like, no, I don't know why my brain started reading another word there, and I was like, wait, that's not what, like, I can see what it says, but my brain is trying to say something different. Koshu Katsunuma. Numa. Not a no. I started thinking no in my head, and then I was like saying something completely. Gonna start throwing other words in there. Wow. The Shinsengumi men were thrust into chaos, knowingly facing an opponent who was better suited in almost every facet to fight for the control of Kofu Castle. Hidden throughout the surrounding forest were battalions of Imperial forces, arming their cannons and firing them into our approaching soldiers. Gunpowder filled the air all around Katsunuma. I don't know why my brain can't read that. Stinging our eyes and nostrils. Katsunuma. Tsunuma. There you go. A region in which the Shinsengumi set up an encampment in preparation for their attack on Kofu. Later on, it was the site of the Battle of Koshu Katsunuma. Numa. Spacey, learn to read. It became a land of ash and blood. A land of ash and blood. That's right there. There you go. Thank you, game. Somebody, you're welcome to the game developers for giving you the name of your next young adult novel. Credit me because you saw it here. Saw it on my channel, given to you by the writers of this game. Anyway, what's the status of our troops? There's just too many Imperials, sir. Our captains are desperately pushing them at the front lines, but I think it's only a matter of time, sir. Damn it! Toshi gave us more than ample time to prepare. How the hell could we not have been ready to take this thing? From Yamazaki's assessment, the Imperial Army had successfully seized total control of Kofu Castle. On the flip side, we possessed neither the arsenal nor the strategy to penetrate such a vast fortress. Saito and Nagakura, from what we'd heard, were fighting tooth and nail to keep up the pressure, but every other report making its way back to our home base carried devastating news, keeping morale low. Chief, things aren't looking too hot, and they've broken through the lines to the right of our camp, and enemy forces are marching here as we speak. Ugh, we've got no choice then. All right, men, draw your swords. When I give the signal, you kill every goddamn enemy you see. Kondo, no! If the Imperials are armed with rifles, then sending our men with swords won't do anything. Please, we must retreat. But even with my plea, Kondo was motioning forward, beckoning his men with reckless aplomb. My voice went hoarse, trying to convince him otherwise. Yamazaki scanned our perimeter, thinning his eyes before taking a pronounced step forward. Nomura, how many men are marching towards us? Huh? From our vantage point, I can make out 20 or so, sir. 20, eh? That shouldn't pose a problem. Leave that troop to me. Soma and Nomura, promise me you'll protect the chief and retreat at the first opportunity. Don't tell me you plan on going alone. He's like, you wanna come with me? No, because I suck. I'm just saying. Someone needs to guard the rear, or they'll gain on us in a pursuit. Besides, the sun has already set, so the tide is currently in my favor. I'll manage. After leaving us with a curt nod, Yamazaki leapt up a nearby tree trunk, dashing through adjacent branches and disappearing into the dense, wooded forest. He really is a motherfucking ninja, Fury or not. Like, I mean, just gonna like scale a tree. Like, the fuck? Like, wow. That, I don't think most people can do that. Fury or not. You go ahead and scramble up a tree and go dashing through the tree branches. What are you, fucking Tarzan? Jesus. Yamazaki impresses me. For a brief moment, my mouth was agape from awe, right? I mean, literally. Then I snapped out of it, facing Kondo again. Soma, Nomura, please take this brief reprieve to get Kondo out of here. I guess we could, but what about you, Miss Yukimura? I'm staying behind to watch over Yamazaki, and then I'll catch up with the rest of you. Please, there's no time. Hurry. Kondo's like, but I will bitch slap you. Kondo, so help me God, if Yamazaki dies, I will fucking kill you. Oh, look, I became a Kokita. I saw them off, making sure they were out of sight before darting away. I hid behind a thick shrub, peeking just over the top to watch a crowd of Imperial soldiers marching on. Fall in line, men. We've snuffed out their main troop. Keep shooting. Fire at will. No survivors. They advanced slowly but surely. I don't know why I give them dumb voices. Hey guys, keep shooting at people. I don't know. But they suck. They're Imperial soldiers. We don't like them. They're the bad guys. Are we the bad guys? I don't know. Whatever. Like, the increasing pace of their steps fell into an uneasy rhythm with my accelerating heartbeat. I grew nervous, wondering where Yamazaki had been. With an upward glance, I held my breath, hoping to find him perched on some branch. Just then... Heh! It's a new age, boys. Swords are just a thing of the past. All we gotta do is fire off our good... That was cute. He was questioning his dying. I like that. The Imperial soldier. God, I don't know why my brain. I don't know. Never finished his sentence, which was punctuated by a blood-gurgling cry. A strong breeze came from the east, and with it flew the soldier's head high into the air. Wait, what? Huh? I just like their questioning. Huh? Like that they're dying. It's great. I like it. Before he could blink, another soldier spewed blood from a fresh slit sliced across his exposed neck. Because Yamazaki's a motherfucking ninja and doesn't need to be a fury to do this. I mean, seriously. What the hell? Where'd that come from? What the hell's Ah! Enemy attack! Oh, we're being attacked! Get into formation! Don't allow any openings! Damn it! Who's out there? Not fair to pick us up! Show yourself! It's not fair! Oh! Says the guy brought a gun to a sword fight. Jesus. I mean, you'd think bringing a gun to a sword fight would, like, give you the advantage, but not when it's Yamazaki, I guess. Not fair, you said. You of all people will lay claim to that? You've slain my comrades and laid waste to my kin, complaining about what's fair or just? Terror covered the face of every soldier in the Imperial troop, and Yamazaki pulled their strings with the bellow of his fearsome voice. From afar, I had the perfect view of him, though he was hiding in plain sight. The glow of Yamazaki's crimson eyes radiated sharply as he sat perched on a branch above the soldiers, which I think is funny. He's like jumping down, slashing their throats, jumping back in the tree. It's like, what the fuck? He's pretty fucking amazing. Yamazaki, they screwed you up. Like, you could have been so much prettier, but they gave you the terrible rat tail hair. And, like, if they'd given you a better haircut, like, just imagine Yamazaki with slightly different, like they all had fabulous, glorious hair, and he got a rat tail. And you're like, no, honey, no. And the super short bangs is what it is. Is like, no, I can't, like the baby bangs. No, I can't do that. I can't do that on anybody. It's not sexy. It looks ridiculous. Like, I mean, that personally, I think it looks ridiculous. So it just, but that's what he's got. It's like, okay, I'm going to need you to get a little bit long. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. It's like, you could have done Yamazaki so much better. And it would have been like, yes, there you go. But he's still such an amazing character, even if he is totally sidelined and you kill him in every fucking path but his own. But I mean, then you get this and you're like, he's really fucking, like, impressive. I mean, because he's a fucking ninja. Like, I mean, the others are good at sword fighting and shit, and you're like, oh, okay, they're really good with this. This is great. But he is, like, just, like, leaping in and out of the trees. Like, that's just fucking, like, none of the other ones can do this. Like, I'm just impressed, that's all. Like, I don't know. The sight alone was enough to send chills crawling down my spine. Yamazaki blended into the forest on command, nimbly slashing at the soldiers' necks before piercing their hearts, tearing their flesh asunder with steel. And she's sitting in the bushes like, gleefully laughing, because that's what I'm doing. Aren't you? You're like, this is amazing. One by one, the blood-soaked bodies of the Imperial soldiers hit the ground with a resounding thud. Every time my eyes caught sight of Yamazaki, he was followed by a ribbon of cascading blood gushing from his fallen foes. I stared in abject horror, curling my toes every time one of them would utter a ghastly shriek. No, this is amazing, girl. You should be like, yes, my ninja boyfriend is sexy. I mean, if I was actually watching this in real life, I'd probably vomit, because I'd be like, oh, it's gross, but for the purpose of the game. Wait, why does that say Shinsengumi soldier? Suddenly, a Shinsengumi warrior emerged beside the fray, clutching his hand tightly over his chest before collapsing on the ground in front of me. I mean, I know we got Western uniforms, but they look exactly like the other guys. Anyway, hey, can you hear me? I'm in Hellite. I'm here to help. Can you recognize me? Oh, no. You're not looking well. Oh, we need to get you to safety. Yamazaki! Wait, right. I'll leave him to you. I'll subdue the rest of them. Get away while you can. Huh? You're best suited for the procedure. Only with your help can he stand any chance of living. Yamazaki smoked dismissively, not even bothering to turn and face me while he spoke. Instead, he fixed his hateful glare upon the corpses of his enemies, warping his mouth into a menacing grin, which prompted me to say, "What? Are you serious?" "You heard me. We can leave the first aid for later. First, we must see to it that our enemies are..." "No! You're wrong! Killing people should only serve as a means to protect the people you care about." I felt my throat tighten in soreness as I shouted. I took myself by surprise, never having thought myself capable of yelling as loudly as I did. "No matter how many men you slay, if you aren't able to keep your allies safe, then it's all for nothing." Damn, girl. What? Back talking him. "Yamazaki, what are you fighting for?" Tears filled my puffy eyes by the time I finished. In the past, Yamazaki had always been the first person to express concern for his injured comrades. That's because he's kind of going a little new. Wait, hold on. Can we see something? Yeah, that's what I want. I was like, wait, where's our... Yeah, see, he's got mid-corruption. So, because we're only in the beginning of chapter 2. You know what I mean? And... yeah. I was just trying to... Wait. Anyway. But yeah, so... we haven't gotten to the give him blood thing yet. So, of course, he's going to be... I think they start out at mid. You know what I mean? So, anyway. Where before my heart was moved by how sensitive and caring Yamazaki had been, I found myself perplexed by his current state of mind. It shattered me to think he was losing touch with himself, so I needed to get through to him. Me? What am I fighting for? Yamazaki's eyes dropped down to his blood-stained hands, and slowly the madness within them dissipated. The moment was ultimately short-lived, however. "There he is! Found the culprit! Fire at will!" "My name's not Will. Batman." "Damn it! Step back, Yukimura." He's getting more of the Hijikata treatment in his voice right now. I can't. I don't know. Sorry. I don't know. I flinched as I saw Yamazaki pounce back into the group of Imperial soldiers. Eerie sounds of bones snapping followed soon after, causing me to grimace. This is also... So, I mean, I get what we were doing. We were like, no, Yamazaki, we should care about this person and not just slaughtering people. But at the same time, how are we going to get away if they shoot at us because Yamazaki doesn't kill them all? I'm just saying he's going to kill them all, right? Girl, let him kill these people, quick. See? He could have killed them all and we could have been back already. Don't argue with the man. I get what the whole point was. You know what I mean? Bring some of his humanity back, but it's just kind of funny because I'm like, they have guns. They're going to shoot you. Grab the man. Now you're dead. Well, now you're all dead. His uniform was drenched in fresh blood, making me realize nothing I said could ever get through to him. As he promised, however, Yamazaki made quick work out of the Imperials. In spite of my best efforts, the wounded Shinsengumi warrior succumbed to his wounds, and I saw the glimmer of light leave his scared, tender eyes. Aw, that's kind of sad. As I lifted my head, I couldn't help but gasp, catching sight of the gruesome mountain of human remains scattered along the dirt. The one who was responsible was a fury, huffing in a damp coat of blood. He had thrown his mask off from his face, his lips curling into a wry, satisfied smile. In no way had Yamazaki seemed disturbed by his actions. On the contrary, he was taking great pleasure. He's losing his sanity a little bit. Yamazaki, they're all... No, some of them are still breathing. Stop it! Yukimura, why do you insist on getting in my way? There are enemies. Enemies of the Shinsengumi. Yes, but I've also spent almost 4 years in the company of the Shinsengumi. All might be fair in war, I'll give you that. Sometimes we're driven to extremes that we never saw ourselves capable of achieving. That I'm keenly aware of. But to show no mercy as you slaughter helpless men, that's just... I get it. I get what you're saying, but also, if I was that guy, I'm like, I'm slowly dying. Please just fucking kill me. I'm gonna bleed to death. That seems more painful than if you just, like, stab me through the heart. Like, I volunteer for you to just kill me, because this hurts, and it's gonna take a while to die. I'm slowly bleeding out. I'm gonna slowly die, painfully. Please fucking just take me out. Like, I'm something. I mean, put him down. It's more humane. I mean, I don't know. Maybe they want to be like, all right, do you want to just lay here and suffer slowly, or do you want me to put you out of your misery? Give them a choice, I guess. I don't know. There can be no half measures. If we spare them now, there's no telling if or when they could reappear to harm us another day. But shut up. Yamazaki! That's me. Wait, seriously? Wow. Damn! You did not think he was gonna get this feisty. Shit. If you interrupt me again, I will kill you. Oh, he got a little Okita in him, too. I was petrified, feeling Yamazaki tap the underside of my chin with his cold sword, still dripping with the blood of those he had slain only minutes earlier. The air thickened like mist with the blood's foul, rust-like odor, which only seemed to worsen Yamazaki's pronounced lack of compassion. Thirsty. I'm thirsty. I want to poke through their soft, supple skin and satisfy my cravings with that delicious scarlet liquid. So stay out of my way. Something sinister lurked behind his ravenous eyes. I knew this was going to be the point where we were going to have to give him blood. So, yeah, I'm guessing. It was animalistic, like his instincts were focused on nothing aside from finding prey upon which to feed. Yamazaki, the one I knew and adored, was slipping away from me. I know, right? But I love this. This is great. They give him, like, it's not just like, they've actually given him an interesting character arc right now. You know what I mean? Like, he's been so, like, I'm gonna go protect everyone. And I'm so, like, Yamazaki, you're so nice and sweet. And then his path was great. And then it's like, but you kill him all the time. And now they're like, we gotta give him something good. And like, where he's a little more like, I'll fucking get, what? Yamazaki, what the fuck? You got the Okita treatment and it's weird. Sorry. Or, Yukimura, would you rather I feast upon you instead? To sample the sweet, saccharine taste of your blood. Give him blood. I could bear it no longer. With gritted teeth, I grabbed a hold of his katana's blade and I slid the sharp edge against my hand. An audible gulp squeaked from Yamazaki's eager mouth. Blood. Blood. That's so creepy. Oh, that's me. Without a second of hesitation, he tugged my arm closer toward him and wrapped his mouth around the open wound on my hand. His tongue flicked in and out of my cut. Ow. Painfully digging it deeper underneath the skin. Way to take the sexy out of this. It's cringy. But with my blood, Yamazaki's suffering would ease, and that was enough for me to persevere. I took solace knowing I could keep him sane. Sorry, kind of mumbled through that. Rather than descend into depravity by taking the lives of others, he could sip and consume my blood. As something frightened me. It was almost as though I enjoyed the idea of being used. And that somehow, if it were Yamazaki doing the deed, I felt more special. Yeah, well, I mean, sure. He's your vampire boyfriend. Just saying. After it felt as though an eternity had passed. At last, Yamazaki began to resemble himself again, letting the sword fall from his hands before speaking. I kept on fooling myself into thinking that I'd never let bloodlust affect me, and that I would never bring harm to you. Look at what I've done. I can do nothing to restrain my bloodlust. Intoxicate me in battle, smothers my senses. Finally beginning to see the wisdom in what Kazama had been getting at. As he foretold, slowly morphing into a beast, one that cannot live under sunlight, one that must drink blood. My life as a human is ending. So this is the true curse of the Fury. I'll become nothing more than a shell of myself. My heart broke for Yamazaki, whose forlorn eyes drooped listlessly. In order to comfort him, I said, nothing can change who you are. Yes, like it or not, you're a Fury now. When you're hurt, your flesh will heal, and you've become a white-haired creature with a taste for human blood. He's like, it's funny, you're like, nothing can change who you are. And then you say all this, and it's like, that's what you chose, and this is what she says, and you're like, I know she's going to continue and get there, but, like, his face is kind of like ours, like, not exactly what I was expecting. Yeah, don't worry, we'll get there. But you must understand, you and I aren't much different. My body regenerates itself too. Everybody's body does, just not as fast as yours. I also can't afford to live a normal human life, whatever that means. That's not exactly what I was expecting her to say still. Well, I had no desire to drink human blood, but I meant every word that I said. And with a smile, I took Yamazaki's hand and pressed it gently against my cheeks. What are you doing? The softness and warmth in your palm, whether you're human or a fury, or if I'm a demon, nothing can change that. He's like, well, oh my God, you're making me touch you. That's adorable. Don't be so embarrassed, Yamazaki. Yamazaki's mouth was agape, and his eyes stared at the ground, speechless. I decided I'd give him a moment of reprieve. In this moment, perhaps he hadn't needed words of comfort. Instead, I glanced at the darkening sky, collecting my erstwhile thoughts. Had Kondo been able to escape safely? Saito, Harada, Nagakura, Shimada, all of the men who were willing to give their lives so that we could protect Kondo, were they alive? Yamazaki, let's go. We need to rendezvous with the rest of the Shinsengumi men. All right. We picked ourselves back up, dragging our heavy feet through sanguinary muck. Blech. When all of a sudden, fuck. Oh, you two! Hey, Kazama, what's up? What's up, eyebrows? What? We hate them, but we like them. Amagiri's pretty cool. I mean, he pretty much saves our ass all the time. He's pretty cool for a bad guy. And, like, Kazama, obviously, like, we love his hot ass, but in some points we're like, fuck you, buddy, you suck. You didn't get a makeover in this route. I think you get one in your route, though. I've seen you in Western uniform in the, opening sequence. Yeah. Anyway. The two of you have certainly seen better days, haven't you? Looking more like a demon every day. I can't do his voice anymore. I can't remember the voice I gave in the beginning, but I know it's whatever. Large trees shook as two figures strolled towards us from the shadows with paralyzing stares in their eyes. I was swept with deja vu, being taken back to the day that Yamazaki had consumed the water of life. Like, it's because we stood here too long. Nothing more hapless comes to mind than crossing paths with the pair of you today. Why are you here? Have you come to watch the battle in Kofu? No, believe it or not, today we do not meet as enemies. I did, however, watch how swiftly you dispatched those men earlier. Yamazaki, was it? It appears that I misjudged you. If you've not got the stomach to resist those unflattering temptations of yours, then I pity you. It was Kazama! Like, she just realized it? It was Kazama! Wow, where were you 5 minutes ago when they showed up? Pats Spacey on the head. Jesus Christ, girl, catch up. Kazama unsheathed his sword, spreading his feet to a stance before Yamazaki responded in kind. I cut my hand over my mouth, fearing that Yamazaki stood no chance against them alone. It was up to me to find a way to stall them. Just as the thought crossed my mind, I tripped and fell and broke my leg. Not surprising. They're like, were you just standing there? I know, I fell. That's how useless she kind of is. I wouldn't be surprised. Amakiri outstretched his muscular arm, halting the two warriors from crossing blades. Feeling a little sensitive, are we, Kazama? Do you want to kill him here and now? Please, pay me no heed. Yukimura is one thing, but this man's life is of no concern to me. Have you forgotten our purpose here? I'm just picturing Kazama. It's just... I don't know why that's funny. I'm not drinking, I swear. It's just, I don't know why it's amusing. He's putting his sword away? The hell are you playing at? Come at me. I don't care which one of you goes first. Very well then. I shall take you up on your offer. And I'll deal with you, girl. Okay, seriously? He stopped you? Yamazaki, simmer the fuck down. They were gonna leave us alone. Stop. Oh, unless they're coming for me. Our purpose here is to get her. Oh, you know what? Never mind. Fight. Defend my honor, Yamazaki.
Feel free to make the first move, Susumu Yamazaki of the Shinsengumi's illustrious watch. You'll regret this, Kyuju Amagiri.
Victory went to the warrior who struck first. Oh, my neck hurts. Without breaking a sweat, Yamazaki chucked his kunai forward, which Amagiri effortlessly deflected. Kunai, a stick-type throwing weapon often employed by ninja. See, he's a fucking ninja. We already knew that, but I just like it. Before Amagiri could catch his breath, however, Yamazaki had already bolted inches in front of him.
Not bad for a human. You'll have to do better than that.
Ow. Oh, frick, I just snapped my head. I shook my head and I snapped my neck. Ooh, when it really hurts and I can't twist it to the side because my bird is like jammed in my neck on the one side. I'm like, I can't twist my neck to snap it right now. Yamazaki aimed a flurry of blows at Amagiri, trying to strike his opponent's vital points without much success as Amagiri parried every attack. Amagiri anticipated the path of every swing and was adept enough to block the sword with his bare hands. He was no stranger to the Shinsengumi, having beaten Saito and Heisuke in the past, which made him one of their most formidable enemies.
Shh, not too bad. We could be here all day if it keeps up like this.
So... now he looks...
Ah!
Yamazaki bent forward, prepping himself to lunge before his pupils flared in dilation. He kicked to the floor, disappearing into thin air. It was impossible for me to track his superhuman movements with the naked eye. All I could follow was the whistle of the wind against the tree branches he'd fluttered upon.
Shh! Too late.
Yamazaki showed no signs of faltering, smacking the blunt edge of his blade forcefully against Amagiri's shoulder. Oh my! Landing a blow on Amagiri is no mean feat. Your speed has improved considerably.
And here I was, thinking I defended myself well. Took me by surprise, this one.
All of us were in shock watching Yamazaki put pressure on Amagiri as aggressively as he did. Damn. As Amagiri's fist cut through the air like a hawk, Yamazaki responded with a well-timed slash across the former's ribcage. As Kazama had suggested in the past, however, his heightened speed was a double-edged blade. To compensate for the enormous toll his powers were taking on his body, Yamazaki's lifespan actually diminished with each instance. A typical human foot would have likely been ripped apart by the sheer velocity of Yamazaki's movements, but this did nothing to faze him. Like how Kasama's laughing at him. He's like, just like how he's laughing. Something the matter, Amagiri? Your pathetic showing is starting to nauseate me. Why don't you bend the knee to me, so that I may take pity upon you and save you from further shame?
That's not funny, Kazama.
Amagiri wiped his bloody lips with the back of his palm, quickly raising his guard again as he got into stance.
So, you finally started to embrace becoming a Fury. Everything's coming together as to why you were able to dispatch those men so quickly.
Of course, my current state, men like them are nothing.
You have me mistaken, boy. That was no compliment. Far from it. In fact, I lament the fact that you take pride in having needed those powers to kill them yourself.
Once more, Yamazaki put the full weight of his body behind his attack, but Amagiri hadn't even flinched. He remained completely still, speaking in an icy tone of voice as he continued, like, why are you here? Are you here just to taunt Yamazaki? Like, that's mean.
Besides, do you have any clue what the consequences for utilizing your powers are?
That much we know. Every Fury eventually develops a craving for blood.
Before you rudely interrupt me again, it's not what I had intended on referencing. Furies may possess extraordinary strength, speed, and regenerative capabilities, but they're potent concentrations of what humans are already capable of. For example, when your body heals itself from a particularly nasty wound, what normally takes months to heal now only takes seconds. However, what do you think the cost of harnessing those abilities is, especially when it's performed on a regular basis to your meek, fragile human body.
As Amagiri expanded on his point, anxiety began festering in the pit of my stomach. I wanted to cover my ears. I couldn't bear to hear what he'd been getting at. All of my fears were becoming realized, but Amagiri insisted on revealing the harsh, terrifying truth.
That's right. Each time you activate your powers, you deplete days, weeks, months from your total lifespan. As logic dictates, the more times you use it, the more your lifespan depletes. In the end, it'll turn to ash.
What? No! But it's funny because you're like, well, Sonnet had 3 fucking years, so you're fine. You just turned into one a couple months ago. I mean, I know you're using your powers a lot, but I'm just saying, if fucking Sonnet can last for 3 years, why is it like 2 months later everybody else dies? I mean, some people have, I mean, obviously everybody's lifespan isn't the same, but still. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, like, Jesus, Sonnet could have lived to been like 100. Like, took 3 years before he started to crack. Literally crack.
Enough. I don't believe a word you're saying. I know we know you weren't spewing some lie just so I don't use my powers around you. I bet it's a trap. Don't believe me, huh? Allow me to put my theory to the test then. If I can defeat you, even with your miserable powers, then it's proof alone that I've no need to waste your time with something as stupid as a trap.
Yamazaki dashed away at light speed, leaving behind the ominous glow of his rage-filled eyes. A sense of urgency fueled his movements, but it was nefarious, akin to panic more than determination. My eyes darted towards Amagiri, whose body was engulfed in a whirlwind of steel. Blood cascaded like floating lilies from the demon's body as Yamazaki's flurry of slashes cut almost every part of him, save for his face and neck. Uh-oh. Oh, well, now you're fucked. Suddenly, Amagiri's hair turned stark white. And then...
Got you.
The tip of Yamazaki's katana was pointed directly at Amagiri's heart. His opportunity to strike was cut short, however.
No, I've got you.
With a slight flick of his wrist, Amagiri disarmed Yamazaki, knocking him on his back. Because he turned into demon form, so I mean, I'm just saying. What? Ow! How could he see it coming? Did you miss the Girl.
No matter how fast you are, the cat always catches the mouse. You're nothing compared to a demon, try as you might.
Amagiri approached Yamazaki slowly as he writhed helplessly on the ground.
Don't you dare touch him!
Whoops. I aimed my kodachi at Amagiri, sidling carefully towards Yamazaki before helping him stand. Are you okay?
Cheap sleights of hand are no substitute for actual skill. Eventually someone will discover your secret. Take a gander at his body, if you will. His recovery will take some time.
The longer I looked, the more I winced. Blood streamed from the gashes covering Yamazaki's mangled legs, exposing the muscles and tendons underneath his flesh. Ugh. It was clear, though, that he hadn't sustained the wounds simply from Amagiri. They were a result of overexertion from his use of fury powers. Yamazaki! I wrapped my arms around his blood-soaked body, muttering his name under my breath, like, Jesus! He's so fast he's towing his back. He, like, tore his fucking legs up. Jeez.
The taste of blood has driven you mad. Soon you'll no longer tell friend from foe, and it will kill you. As you can see, Furies are an abomination, and they deserve to be expelled from this cursed world.
I had no rebuttal. Yamazaki and Heisuke fought their hardest to retain their humanity, but every other Fury eventually descended into depravity, so they were clearly the exceptions to the rule. Notice that she just You don't know that Sonen's descended into depravity. I mean, yeah, we kind of know that he's, like, lost his motherfucking mind based on all the other paths before this, save for his. Actually, even in his. But you don't know that yet. But she's like, I just already know it. It's just like a foregone conclusion that Sonen's fucking mental. Poor Sonen. In this bitter war, they were being wielded as pawns, agents of destruction pitted against one another. If ever we were able to maintain a period of peace, however, and the war comes to a screeching halt, what purpose would these beings have? Would there even be a place for them?
I hate to be the bearer of bad news, especially in a time like this, but your father, Kodo Yukimura, is attempting to spread this affliction with the rest of the country and poison any unlucky enough to cross his path.
What? My father?
The very same. Kodo succeeds, and half of the total population of humans will succumb to the curse. And the remaining half, well, let's just say the monsters will have to find something to eat.
And what happens when they eat all the humans? They eat each other? Ah, see? Humans aren't the worst thing on the planet. Furies, like psycho, bloodthirsty vampires who can't control themselves because they have nothing to feed on and they'll just kill themselves. So there. It's like, it's like releasing a predator. Like, hey, we have a problem with this type of insect or animal. So we release this giant predator that eats all the, yeah, and now we have a problem with those things. So we got to get something that preys on those. And then we're infested with that. And it's like that. Like humans are the infestation and you're just going to let Furies loose to kill us all. And then the Furies are, what are you going to release? Furies are going to destroy everything. I'm just saying. There's something worse than humans. Super crazy, bloodthirsty vampire thing. Anyway. Even with the blessings of demon lineage in his veins, he focuses energy on propagating fakes. Speaking as the lord of a demon clan, I find the very thought reprehensible. Even during my extended stay with the Shinsengumi, obtaining any information about father was next to impossible. Kazama and Amagiri were the last people from whom I had expected to learn any sort of update.
As we speak, he's working on currying favor with some of the upper-level brass from the Imperials, and has made himself untouchable as a political asset. It seems we and the Shinsengumi now share a common goal: killing that man at any cost.
Don't you dare fucking try to defend him, Spacey. You let them kill him. So, your goal is asking the Shinsengumi whether or not they want to wage war against my father's legion of Fury soldiers? The Shinsengumi are nothing more than overlooked footnotes in the annals of history. As such, they should bear no qualms absolving themselves of the sins they knowingly committed. Kazama smiled wryly before turning his back to us. Before Kazama could walk away, however, an enraged voice called out to him, prompting him to stop. I'm gonna guess Yamazaki? The only other person here. Yamazaki, you've been around Hijikata too much.
Fuck that.
Yamazaki barked, dusting his shoulders as he rose. That was a little too Hijikata, but I'm just saying, that's totally like, oh my god, you were channeling Hijikata just then. He spat out a mouthful of blood and struck his sword into the ground to support his weight.
Footnotes, you called us. Just where the hell do you get off, huh? Nothing's over here. Shinsengumi isn't going anywhere. So long as there's a hand to hold it, our swords will never stop swinging.
When he gets motivated and angry, he sounds more like Hijikata when I can't do his voice. I'm used to his voice being deep and calm and not angry. I can't do the angry Yamazaki. It's just not working. Like,
I wasn't trying to get a rise out of you, so calm down. Try as it might, Shinsengumi hasn't much time left. Fate is cruel, kid, and I'm just a messenger. If you like, we can ditch pleasantries and talk man to man. The Shinsengumi stand no chance here, and you know what they say. History is written by the victors.
Yamazaki and I gasped, uncomfortable with the truth neither of us had ever been willing to admit. Lose. Amagiri's startling admission shook me. On the other hand, Yamazaki nodded silently.
Of that I am well aware. I've known all of this for some time, but we don't require either of you to remind us about the state of the Shinsengumi, or its men. More than anything, it's just a bigger reason for us to give it our all till we draw our very last breath. Told you before and I'll tell you again. I've seen the darkness. It's a part of me and I'm ready.
Yamazaki, wow.
You think you have what it takes to kill Kodo? By yourself? His army of furies number in the dozens, kid. A paltry sum for us. But for you, well...
He's not alone. He's got me too. I was like saying this into my head. I was thinking they're gonna bust out laughing, and I couldn't help. I couldn't hold it. He's got me. I'm gonna do nothing. I'm sorry. That was hilarious. No, I'm not gonna do anything. If my father's responsible for this madness, then as his daughter, it's my duty to see that he's stopped. I mean, it's noble of you for, like, pretending that you can do anything, but have you any clue what you're getting yourself into, girl? Ridding the world of furies means killing Koto Yukimura. Do you have it within you to murder your own father? Well, I don't have it in me to kill. I can't even pick a plant out of the ground. I'm so weak. Like, I'm trying, but I can't.
I'll do it. But I still don't trust either of you. There's still a chance for the two of you to deceive us. But should we be confronted with the choice, and our lives are on the line, I will see it through.
Wise answer. Well, either way, the end result is of little consequence to us.
Koto is currently collaborating with the Imperial Army to increase its vile mass of furies. It's only a matter of time until he unleashes them in battle, which I expect is soon approaching. So, wherever the Shinsengumi moves to next, that's where he plans on unveiling them. Correct. May luck be ever in your favor.
Oh my god, it really is the start of the Hunger Games, Jesus. With that, the two demons melted into the fog. Welcome to the 1868 Hunger Games. Are we in 1868 still? I think so. Just as quickly as they appeared, they vanished, and I scanned the whole area to ensure they were gone. Was it just a dream? An ominous premonition? No, it wasn't. Looking at Yamazaki's tattered body and the soreness in my fingers, I gathered that all of it was very, very real. Why do you have soreness in your fingers? What were you doing? If what Kazama and Amagiri said were true, that my reunion with father would be soon, but I wasn't sure if it would involve the intimate welcome that I was wishing for. I should have known by now, it never would have. Chapter 3? Already? Or not. There we go. I was like, oh, just blackness. Yep, chapter 3. Wow. His path's going to be shorter than Sonen's. Well, yeah. Well, Sonen's was what, like 5 parts? Yeah, so his will probably be all the same. With the Imperial Army came chaos for its enemies as they swept through Kyoto and swiftly proceeded east through the Koshu Kaido. Koshu Kaido, a highway which starts from Nihonbashi Ito through Shinjuku, Hachioji, Kofu, and then merges with Nakasendo at Shimosua. Shimosua? Something like that. Anyway, okay, there you go. Lots of places that we can't read. The Shinsengumi rebranded itself as the Koyo Regulatory Company, enticed by the glory from their former employer to subdue their imperial foes. We already know that. The outcome of the battle in Kofu, however, left the Shinsengumi with neither a castle nor an army to fill it, and they licked the wounds of their defeat and disgrace. The window of time in which our men had put up a capable fight was fleeting, and soon imperial forces pushed us into an embarrassing retreat. During the retreat, Yamazaki and I were separated from the rest of the troop, dragging our exhausted bodies back to Ito, hoping for a spot of good news. Our return trip took several days, and by the end of it, my feet were aching and haggard. Imagine Yamazaki! He's like his fucking tendons and muscles are falling out.
Gravest apologies, Commander. In spite of every warning you prescribed, it was our fault that the battle began prematurely. We failed you, sir. It was so selfish of us. Chin up, Yamazaki. You're not responsible for the defeat. That falls on my shoulders. Here I was rushing to gather reinforcements, and those bastards didn't bother lifting a finger. Besides, you held the back line while Kondo got to safety, didn't you? I got no reason to reprimand you. You did your job.
No. As their conversation bounced back and forth in the background, I gazed around the common room. The only other men standing in the room were Saito and Shimada, whose glum expressions were directed at the floor. We had to accept whatever good news we could find. In our case, it was that all of the captains had presumably exited the battle unscathed, including Kondo. Our men were bruised, but still alive. There was no time to wallow in our relief, though, and both Yamazaki and I described our mysterious encounter from Kazama including his revelation. Oh, I love you, Saito. So, Kodo has proved himself to be a turncoat and is creating an army of Furies for the Imperial Army. Kazama and Amakiri may have accurate sources, but are we sure that we can trust their word?
I would think so. I see no reason for them to lie to us, nor do they have anything to gain in doing so. I think all of us are in agreement that this update of Kodo's whereabouts was quite unexpected. Lest we forget, Kodo is Yukimura's father.
I appreciate your concern, but I'm okay. Originally, I had ventured to Kyoto alone in order to gather clues about Father's strange disappearance. 4 years of investigation produced no results, and only recently had I learned anything about him. Needless to say, it was a little deflating for my first lead to be an indictment on his nefarious activities. Creating the Water of Life was merely the first step. He threatens to turn half our population to monsters. If this is true, then we're obligated to see his experiments brought to a swift and ruthless end.
I hear you. As it stands, we got our hands full with moving. It's just another piece of dung on top of a big pile of shit.
Oh, Hijikata. And yet you write beautiful poetry, like all these beautiful haikus, and yet, man, your language is music to my ears, though. I love it when you swear. Sexy. Moving? Is the Shinsengumi planning on leaving somewhere?
Bakushin and Ito are nothing but spineless bitches. Staying here is pointless.
God, I fucking love him.
Ugh. So, we're heading for Aizu. If we're gonna be dragged into a war, I'd rather be dragged alongside people who actually give a damn.
I'd rather he said give a fuck, because that's more Hijikata. But you know what? It works. It's still, I don't care. I believe Lord Katamori Matsudaira will welcome us into Aizu graciously. I recognized Lord Matsudaira's name as the military commissioner to whom the Shinsengumi had reported while we were stationed in Kyoto. Having such a powerful figure as an ally would surely bolster the Shinsengumi's morale.
What's it gonna be, boys? As much as I want to eradicate those damn Furies, we don't have time to chase ghosts. Indeed, as it stands, we possess an insufficient amount of information in order to pursue this fully. First, we must find Kodo's exact base of operations.
Then, please permit Yukimura and myself to gather more information about his whereabouts. Yamazaki's suggestion was immediately met with a dubious expression from Saito, whose eyes thinned. Don't tell me that either of you seriously intend on searching for him yourselves. Attempting to grab the serpent with your bare hands will only leave you bitten. Don't overestimate yourself.
I get it.
I was merely brutally aware of that fact. I was made brutally aware of that fact. Trust me. Yamazaki snapped at Saito, biting his lip derisively.
First off, we're not planning on needlessly risking our lives. I simply plan on conducting some fieldwork in Ito, eyeing anyone who may fit Kodo's profile. If, eventually, the war reaches Ito Castle, then I have no doubt that the Imperial Army will resort to using Furies.
Same here. I want to go along with Yamazaki. Even if he's wearing a disguise, I think I'd be able to pick him out of a group instantly. Hijikata stroked his chin in contemplation as the rest of us traded our arguments vehemently. After a while, he heaved a large sigh.
Fine. I'm assigning the two of you to find him. As soon as you catch wind of anything, notify me. The Shinsengumi's got blood on its hands because of those Furies. It's up to us to wash them clean.
I think we're going to stop here. Because we could go on for another few more minutes, but I don't know how long this is. It could be literally 2 minutes. It could be 10. I don't know. So I'm going to stop here while we're kind of close to time. And then we'll continue in the next part. So I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.